Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. This video is going to be a demo of the app that I've created. It's called the Vinci Chess Coach. It's basically a chess coach, and I'll walk you through why this app is going to help users improve their game of chess exponentially. It's for those, it's for anyone actually, if you are a complete beginner or an intermediate or an advanced player already. So this helps you to visualize the moves like never before. We'll talk about it in more detail. And as you can see, this is the application. It has three different tabs. We are currently in the intro or the introduction tab, which has the instructions on how to navigate between the buttons, the panels, so on. Let's dive into the game. The game tab has a left hand board and a right hand board, right? So the left hand side of the board is where you would actually be playing the game. The right hand side of the board is going to be the coach. So we'll talk about it more in detail. But before that, let me walk you through the hamburger menu. This is the menu option. So I just click over here. You can navigate between the three tabs. You can either play as white or as black. You can reset the game. You can play in four different modes: easy, intermediate, advanced, and grandmaster. You can save multiple games. We'll talk about that as well. And you might ask me, who am I playing against? You are playing against the computer called the Stockfish engine. So the Stockfish engine is the popular engine for chess. So that is what I've integrated, and each level, the easy level is going to be the easy level of the Stockfish engine, and I think the Grandmaster level or the mode that we play that we chose is going to be a rating of maybe 3000. So rating is basically a chess concept where it is a chess organization body called FIDE. So they have the concept of rating fellow users, whether it be offline or online rating, but that is the gist of it. So yes, it's going to have four difficulty modes. In the left hand side of the board we have all these buttons. So let's first play a few games to understand few moves, sorry, to understand the buttons. So let's say I've played these two moves. The first button goes back to the very beginning of the move, and the current button goes to the current state of the game. The back just goes one step back, and the next takes you to one step ahead. And the undo is basically you can undo a move in case you want to call it back. So that's the undo option. So you can undo it multiple times. So there you have it. And the design is nothing but the reset option. I would rather you pick the reset button over here. The expand mode is for the focus mode, where you can play or complete the game and then return back to the analysis later, right? And sometimes if you do get stuck in a game, you can do a hard refresh. So when you refresh, it goes back to the introduction page. So we'll go back to the game page, we'll hit the reset button, and there you have it. So you can play, you can make your moves. So that is about the board on the left. Let's jump to the board on the right. The board on the right is the real reason why this game has an edge over every other game. It's called the coach game, and as you can see, you have four different arrows. So let's go one by one. The panel. So the moves over here signify the moves or the history of moves. Like the computer played e4, we played e5. So basically, e4, e5 is nothing but signifies the column and the row. So for example, in the first move, the computer played pawn to e4, meaning column E, as you can see over here, it's column E and row 4. We responded with e5. So that kind of a history of moves is recorded in this panel. Similarly, you have the arrows where it basically signifies the top 4 moves at every single position. So you can filter by the top first move, which is signified by the color green, the top second move, which is signified by the color yellow, top third move, which is orange, and the top fourth move is the red. I would recommend having all four moves so that you can compare what you do and what is actually the best move. So these arrows are also generated by Stockfish so that you have an advantage and you're thinking in the right direction. So unlike other apps that just shows you overall best moves and blunders after the whole game is completed, this particular application gives you the best moves at every step of the way, right? Now, to understand why this move is the best move and what is the reason and logic behind it, for that we will have to go to the deep dive tab. In the deep dive tab, you have three different sections: the best moves and why these moves section, the replay table, and decision tree. The best moves section has our four moves, obviously, and it explains in general English on why each of these moves are considered as the best move, right? And it also shows what we played. So you can't play or move anything here, you can just recap the entire game. But in the replay menu, you have this radio icon or the orange color dot. If you click this button, it goes to the current stage or the latest stage as per the game tab. So this is where we are, and this is what shows us the current status in the deep dive tab. So what it essentially is saying is this table, replay table, is pretty much the replica of the coach board in the game tab. You'll understand why I did that, because now this is where things get way more interesting. So now we know you can play along with the best moves. The application already shows you what is the top four moves, which no other application does, with each and every move. And finally, in the deep dive, you have the best moves and why these moves are considered to be best and what you played. And now is the master stroke. So this is the latest stage, right? So this is the last step. So now the decision tree, you might be wondering what this board is about. So let's say, for example, this is the move and we haven't made our move yet, correct? So what if we did the green move, e4, e5 to d4, right? So I click this button, and that's where the magic happens in the decision tree, where it plays out 10 different moves in a list of combinations based on the best moves, right? I repeat, it plays out the moves, 5 to 10 moves consecutively, on how things would go down if I choose a particular move. So you can back it up, can go next, can stop, and you can autoplay, and you can even reset. So for example, instead of e4 to e5, let's say I played the second best move, which is c6 to d4. So I click this button, you get those 10 best moves. I can stop at any place, I can again restart it, can again reset it, so on. And I can again select any other move. So it resets the move and it plays again the whole. So basically this is where the naming convention of the game comes into picture. The name Da Vinci Chess Coach is inspired by, of course, Leonardo da Vinci. So the way how he likes to paint a picture, the decision tree plays out each and every possibility, 5 to 10 possibilities, based on the best moves, right? So again, this is not guaranteed that it's going to play out in real life the exact same way, but it gives you a fair idea of how you're placed, how you rank yourself, what how can you play to kind of counter one single move, and it gives you a fair idea. So now you're actually thinking like a grandmaster. So you're thinking like, let's say for example, I go to the way first move. So let's say I actually played e7 to e5, which is the first move. Instead of this, what if I would have played the fourth best move? How would things go down, which is the pawn d7 to d6? So for example, So it not only plays out the current game, it also plays out every single step of the way or every single move of the way. So you can even reset the board to, you know. So that's where the magic happens, and this is the best part of the game. Now, going back to the game tab. So let's say, for example, you want to save your games, right? So I hit the save game. I give it game 4, right? Save. And then I reset the board. So now, if you go to this settings panel, you'll see a list of games that I've already played and I've already set. So if I go to game 4, I get to where I am. If I go to game 2, which I've previously saved, I get that position. If I go to game 1, same thing, right? So yes, so game 1 I played against white, game 2 I played as white, and game 3 I just we just saved it. Sorry, game 4 we played against white again. So again, this deep dive can take you through each of these games. So whichever game you are in the analysis is where the deep dive will reflect. So current, there you go. I go back to the game, shift it, go to game 2, go to the deep dive, go to the current structure. There you go. So that is the purpose of this game, and it gives you a very good idea of how you're supposed to play, how you're supposed to follow along, and gives you a live analysis of things on how things can go down. You know what I mean? Like, and now I'll let you know how this game has an advantage or an edge over every other game or every other competitors that's already there in the market, right? So we do have paid apps, but then they only show you the best moves as per what you played. They don't show every single best move or top four best moves each way of the step. They have coordinates, like they give you, for let's say for example e2 to e4. I play this move, and the engine in any other game would give you +2 or -0.8, whereas in this particular app you have a nice arrow mark indicating why or where to go, and you actually have a reasoning in English, in simple English. I know it's generic, but at least you have something to kind of rely upon, and then a decision tree that takes analysis to a whole new level, because you kind of do get an engine that you can analyze with, but this way it's more organic. You don't have to memorize any moves like opening like the London, or any other move that you open the king's knight or whatever it is. So you kind of play it more intuitively. You can visualize the whole thing. You can paint a picture. That's what this does. It paints a picture. So yes, that is the synopsis or the gist of the game. So now the link of the game is in the description. Please check out the game. Comment down below if you would like me to share any other requirement or tweak the game a bit, or how the game was. I'd really love and appreciate some feedback. And do like the video and share it among your friends. Also, the link, the way you, so I'm currently reviewing or viewing this game in the desk in the home screen mode. So I'll go to the Chrome and show you how this exactly works. So now here I am in the DaVinci chess.pages.dev. This is the link to the game. So you can either play directly in the Chrome site, but what I would recommend is click on the three dots. I'm using a tablet, so you can, yes, you can use this in the monitor, in a tablet, even in phone. So while using this in a phone, you'll get a vertical view rather than a horizontal view, so you will probably need to scroll it vertically. So click on the three dots, go to the add to home screen page, and you should be able to add this. So I think I've already added this, so that's why it's not coming. So it's coming as Open Chess Coach, but instead of Open Chess Coach, you will get an option to add to home screen. So once you add to home screen, you will get an app kind of a view like this, right? So this will feel more like an app interface. This is the app that I have it over here. So yes, do enjoy. Do let me know in the comments how you like it, and as I mentioned, link is down in the description. Check it out, and thank you. Have a nice day.